Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or terrified because of them. The Lord and your God goes with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you.
So again, it says, do not be afraid, do not be terrified, because your Lord, your God, goes with you, and He will never leave you or forsake you. I think this is kind of step number one. And I think most of us have already kind of nailed step one, even if there's some things that there's still a process that's going on. But I think step one it might kind of be the easiest because you're already here at youth group. You're already hearing what your friends have to say. You're already talking to your friends about the word and about who you are. But the first thing we need to know is that we need to go with God. That we need to have God by our side, and it clearly states in Deuteronomy 31:6 that He's going to be by our side no matter what. If we accept into our heart, we're going to have God by our side. And so I think that's what step number one is. I think we kind of already have it down. So let's go ahead and go on to step number two, and let's flip to Psalms 34:8.
Maybe we should do popcorn. Let Nick popcorn on something.
I don't even like popcorn.
Popcorn. I
I
can't
like
eat popcorn.
Here, I'll go ahead and read this one for you guys, because I kind of pulled from a different translation. So
Jesus popcorn.
listen up. So Psalms 34:8 says, "Open your mouth and taste. Open your eyes and see how good God is. Blessed are you who runs with Him." And I think this kind of works directly with step number one, but it says open your eyes, and this is going to tie in step three very nicely. But open your eyes to see how good God is. Open the eyes to see past what we've been told, past the things that have been pushed on us, past the people who've hurt us for the wrong reasons, and past the hurt that we haven't learned from yet, or the hurt that just doesn't need to be in our lives, past all that, and look how good God is, and know that you're blessed to be alongside of Him, running with Him. Step number three. Step number two. Open your eyes to God rather than the world. Again, that the world pushes on us that we're going to be rebels, and we're just going to tell people that we already know what they've gone through, and we're easily just going to say something that we don't really mean. But when we have God on our side, we're going to be able to share with people what they really need to hear, to open our eyes and open their eyes to what they need to see. So step three. Let's go ahead and flip to Matthew 15:14. All right, can somebody read it for me?
Matthew 3:14.
That's fine. Anybody want to? Good. Yeah.
Leave them. They are blind. I'm sorry, I'm not very good at okay. Leave them. They are blind guides. If a blind man leads a blind man, both will fall into a pit.
So I think this kind of encompasses what we've been talking about as far as, when people say those words to us, or we say those words to people, we're leading blindly. We're allowing something else to kind of almost control us. And what this verse says, you're going to fall into a pit. You're going to go somewhere that you're not going to get out of. You're not going to want to be in this place. But it also says, just leave those things behind. Don't be a blind guide. With God you can be stronger than that. So my third step is if you open other people's eyes, you won't be following the blind. If you open your eyes first, and then go ahead and open up other people's eyes, you're not going to be following the blind, you're not going to be leading the blind, and you won't fall into the pit. So, again, I think that this action of investing a little bit of time into somebody, asking him farther than beyond, hi, how are you? Oh, I'm good. Asking him the next step, well, why are you good? Are you really good? How are things in your life? I think something as simple as that can really change. And I think we easily just close our eyes to what we should be doing and open our eyes to kind of what society thinks, and we're not opening our eyes when we do that. We're following blindly. So again, we cannot ignore hurt. And I told you I was going to tell a story, and this is kind of a real big part of my life right now. And I've learned exactly this phrase within the kind of last 2 weeks, this whole I needed to do something more, and I've learned that I should have done something more now. Is I can't ignore hurt. So my brother is he's your guys' age. He's 18 years old, and he's been just struggling hard. He had a girlfriend for maybe 2 years, and he did some dumb stuff with her. He befriended the wrong kind of people. He got into drugs and things that I've kind of never really dealt with. And my automatic response was to say, you'll get it through it. I got through a nasty relationship. I got through something that I thought was going to ruin my life, and I got through it. And look, I'm engaged now. It's all going to be fine. Don't worry about it. Those were kind of my simple I told him, Brian, you're going to be fine. I promise. I got through it. You're going to get through it. But within the last 2 weeks, I really realized that what I said to him might have even hurt him more. Might have even given him the impression that, oh, maybe I will get through it, and it might have even caused things to be worse. I don't know, and we're getting through that now. But the fact that I kind of ignored really what his hurt was, and didn't talk through him, and didn't allow him to trust what I had to say, and didn't allow me to trust what he really had to say, kind of put his hurt into a lot deeper of a state than it needed to be. He without people listening to him, and we're really trying to listen to him now and listen to what he has to say and listen to what he wants rather than what we think we want for him. He threatened to kill himself. He wants to join the army because he thinks that's the only solution. He thinks that's the only place that he'll be able to get help from, and he thinks that our help is completely hopeless from what we've told him and what my parents have tried to do for him, and even what I've tried to do for him. And even when he told me he wanted to join the army, he said, he was so scared to tell me because he thought I was the one who was going to lash out at him, and I was the one who was just going to completely destroy him for ever thinking that way. And I think it's that instant where it clicked, and I completely supported him. I really am not a fan of that kind of decision, but right away I just said, if this is what needs to happen, this is what's going to happen. This is where your life is going to change, and we're still working with him, and I do believe that if I ignore his hurt one more time, he might be gone forever, or even something that I don't even want to think. So I learning from this, that small little bit of even the support I gave him, saying, okay, let's look into this. Let me invest my time into understanding why you want to join the army. Let me ask you a few questions about it. Let me understand exactly why you made this decision. Let me understand why you feel that the way you do just made a world of difference. And we've even seen a difference from that point in him. And so I encourage you guys to definitely stop ignoring people's hurt. I think a lot of times that, we might do this for one person. Maybe it's our best friend that we'll talk to him about anything. We'll say anything to him. We'll make sure he's always okay, or she. But anything else that we're not directly involved with, we'll just ignore. We'll put it away. Even what our parents are feeling, or our siblings, or our friends that we see once in a while. I think that extra little step might make a world of difference. So right now we're gonna do one more worship song, and then we're gonna kind of do a discussion about this, and I have a little devo for you guys afterwards. So go ahead and welcome up Zach for worship.
Or me.
Everybody up. you mind? Just kidding.
Don't like breaking it up.
Okay. Feel like you do